Hello, so I'm here with my guest and my friend. Her name is Kate, and today we're going to be talking about blended families. So, you have a blended family, you had children going into your marriage, and your husband also had children. So, how did you guys go about it? Was it problems? Did the children accept you at first?
No, we were once told, because we before we got married, but actually after we got married, we were told that sometimes it takes a blended family 7 years before you can actually accept that other person. Some just go right in and accept it, and for us it was the 7 years. So I brought in two children from a previous marriage. My husband brought in two children from a previous marriage. So just the overall way of the children was different, because I had a household that we raised our children up in church, and then my husband, his family, that his children weren't raised up in church. So you also have these different personalities that's coming in, and they have to also be blended. So what we saw was happening was, like it was a lot of division at first, because even though me and my husband were one and we saw ourselves as one, the children didn't all accept us becoming one.
So, what are some of the issues that you guys had?
Authority was the issue. Finances was the issue. I remember my daughter, my stepdaughter, my husband's daughter, but my daughter now. We had to sit her down once to talk to her, because she said that she felt like my husband knew them first, and she felt like they were struggling because he was with me and not with them. So we had to talk about that. And my husband, even though he's not physically there, he's still providing for them, just as if they were in our household. And the same thing when they were at our house, in our household, we were providing for them also. So it's not like he was, like, even though he was not there physically, he was there. He was still there and helping them get raised and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, did the children accept you first? Did you accept them, or how did they treat you? Were they respecting you? Like, were they ignoring you? You know how it is.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, because it was a lot of blindness to the fact, because like when we first got married, my daughter, like I just recently found out that the reason why she didn't accept my husband then was because she felt like he was trying to ease his way into the relationship, and he felt like he didn't earn that right. And then now that his father role, his I don't know how to say, his father role has grew in her relationship, because now she sees him more as a provider, more as an advisor, as a mentor. So she was able to accept him in that sense. Which before, in the past, it was kind of hard. They used to argue all the time, and so it affected me, because I saw that it was affecting both of them, because I have to, the Bible says that it's the head first, that man is the head, and then it's the wife, and then the children are under that umbrella. But then to put that umbrella into effect, there's different protocols that you have to take in order to make that happen.
Okay. I know I'm going to speak about when my family was blended. I know when I first met, he's not my husband now, but my ex-husband, I had a son, he had a son. And at first, it was fine, because, at the time, my ex-husband, he had custody of my stepson, so it was easy. I really didn't have to deal with the mom, and I shouldn't say it like that, like deal with the mom, because a lot of times, it's hard with the blended family, because, it's like, oh, you're not my mom, or if, or the ex would say, you know what, that's not your child, so it's like, don't spank them. Like, there's so many rules, but I think those things have to be discussed. When you're in a blended family, everybody, well, first mom and dad have to sit down at the table, and I think we should discuss it first. Then we bring the children in, and like we were discussing earlier, we should go out on dates,
right,
as a family. We have to talk about things. We have to get to know each other, because it is hard. I know when I had, like I said, my ex-husband, he had his son, I had my son, and then we had our daughter, and that was not perfect. You guys heard in my other blog how that went. And then my ex-husband had a son, and then we had in between our daughter. So it was extremely hard. It was extremely hard, but that will be a whole nother blog to talk about. But I felt so guilty because I'm just going to be honest. I said I was going to keep it real. I was used to, his first son because he was already there, but it was so hard for me to accept my second stepson. I was angry. I thought about the past relationship. I just thought about it. I was so angry. And when I tell you, I had to get on my knees and ask God for forgiveness because it was not that child's fault. It was us as the adults that made mistakes and did the things that we did. But I'm just going to talk about me. It was hard for me to accept him, and I felt guilty and I felt bad for the longest time, and I really had to get on my knees and repent and ask God for forgiveness because it's not the children's fault. We have to be adults and we have to be the Christians that we say we are and say, you know what, we have to talk this thing over. We have to come to the table. We have to go out on dates, not just me and the man, but us, family, as children. We have to keep it real, So have you ever got any arguments with your stepdaughters, with your stepchildren?
Not an argument, but just really bringing things out in the open, because we have a lot of family time in our house where we sit the children down and talk to them and see how they feel about things, and then we tell them where we're coming from, and a lot of the things that was said was well, you knew us first, and here, and what the children see or how they say that they felt is that here comes this person coming into our life that now, now this is our mom, now this is our dad, and they're not our birth parents, so we don't have to respect them, and just, setting that foundation is key to it. And that's how you end up, getting to that point to where you can get to that level where you can accept them without forcing it on them.
Yeah. All right. So I'd like to thank you. I hope we're helping you. You're not the only one that have a blended family. Most people, they'll be like, oh God, I would never date anyone with kids. I know I used to be the same way. I used to be like, no, I'm not dating. I don't have time for that drama, that baby mama drama. But it don't have to be any drama. Everybody come to the table. This is what I expect from you. Okay, if you want to spank them, go ahead, but don't kill my child. You understand me? We have to communicate. It's all about communication. So hopefully this can help you, It's all about communication and sitting at the table with both parties, with everybody, both parents, step parents, and then bring the children in. Because we can't come in and just add the children in and it's all chaos, because the children's going to feed off that negative energy. So I would like to thank Kay for sharing her story with us.
And one thing that I want to add to also setting guidelines for the children is important, because when you're coming in together, you want the family to grow together, because the children don't just start from the time that you're with them and then when they get out of the house and then that's it. You have that child from the time that they're little to the time they're teenagers to the time that they're grown. Oh, yes. So you have to put in you have to give them that parenting all their life, not just for the now, and then you also have to let them know that, this is our household, this is and then where you live at may be another household, but when you're in this household, we're going to do this as a family. Yeah. And then this, and also keep
this way.
Yes, exactly. And also keeping the foolishness out. What goes on in our house stays in our house. What goes on in your house stays in your house. But when we're together, you're our children, and we're going to raise you in the way that we see fit.
Amen. There you have it. So thank you, Kate, for coming, and I hope this help you guys. Like I said, we try to keep it as real as we can. We know how it is. You're not the only one out there that have a blended family. You're not the only one out there that having struggles with blended family, because we know, listen, especially our children, they could be some knuckleheads with the eye rolling and the foot stomping and all that. Let me tell you, we know you're not the only one that's going through it. You're not by yourself. Okay, we can relate to you. God bless you and have a nice day.